Hey guys, what's up and how you doing? My name is Milan and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna show you the Zion National Park, Antelope Canyon and a typical Native American hoop dance from one of the world's best hoop dancers in the world. So let's get started with the national park and the Angel's Landing. Angel's Landing is basically one huge mountain which every side is really steep, so it's going really straight down for a few hundred meters. And even on the way up to the mountaintop, we're gonna find this little cliffs where it just goes straight down for a few meters, and if you're on top you're gonna find that a little bit more extreme because then isn't it a few meters, then we got like a few hundred meters. How you can tell, now we are on the way up to the mountaintop, and how you also can see there are a few other people who are doing exactly the same like we did. It seems to be like in the Grand Canyon pretty crowded and national parks are kind of popular. I didn't expect that to be like that, but it is. And now we made it almost to the top. We could choose to walk an additional 750 meters, but for that we have to wait a long time, and we have to walk on a trail where you have to hold the chains, and the trail is really small, so just one person can walk and you didn't can pass anyone, because then you have to go a step more to the right and would fall down these cliffs, and that is something what you really don't want to do. So it took way too much time, so we decided to go down because we had to see the Native American hoop dance and drive up to the Antelope Canyon. So enjoy that beautiful view, and how you can tell it's go really far down there. I think it was a few hundred meters, like 400 or something. You might wondering why I'm filming the ground, but wait for it, and there we go. And that was so unnecessary, but okay. And now we are on the way back. We're leaving the national park, and how you can tell, between the streets there are a few cars parked, so it was pretty crowded up there and kind of hard not to film the whole time people and just get a little bit to see of the nature, but I made it. Yeah. And that little thing up there, what you can see in the steep slope, is a tunnel where we're going to drive through, but I didn't film in it because it's a tunnel, and the tunnel is of course dark, so it's make not really much sense to film it. So, but after a few minutes driving through it, we made it to the other side, and that is how it looks like at the other side. Alright, it's basically just like sandstone, and there are a few trees in it, so not really something spectacular. So let's move on to the next thing, which is an Indian place where you can buy Indian stuff. And the outside we have a little tiny bird who is flying and getting the drinks out of there. And yeah, he moving pretty fast, even in slow motion. And because it's a pretty long drive between the Zion National Park and the Antelope Canyon, we made a few stops, like at this Indian place or at a dinosaur skeleton place where you can see dinosaur skeleton, or more like exactly one dinosaur skeleton in a building what they built around this whole thing to show you one dinosaur skeleton, which is not really spectacular, to be honest. So we continued our journey and moved forward and driving now over a hill where you can look down to a river slash lake. I'm not sure what it is because it looks like kind of a lake, but that's also a river, so I don't know. However, you have a pretty decent view over the whole area with the lake and a few mountains in the background. And after we'd driven an additional 50 minutes from that point, we made it to the place where the tour was about to start to show us the Antelope Canyon. But before, we watched a Native American hoop dance. But I cut his speech a little bit down and like his dance. The dance is, I think, 5 minutes long, but I'm gonna upload that on next Friday, so you can see if you're interested in this, the whole thing. Just click on the video when the national hoop dance is on, or in the description to see the native hoop dance. And he is, I think, one of the best in the world in hoop dance. So enjoy his hoop dance.
This past year, and I am within the top 10 in the world. Thank you. Throughout this dance, you guys are more welcome to take pictures and videos. After this dance, we'll get you guys in these trucks and on your way to the canyon. Thank you guys for choosing Antelope Slot Canyon Tours by Chief Sosi, and this is the Native American hoop dance. Thank you.
Alright, that was his hoop dance, and that are the cars we all gonna take down to the Antelope Canyon. The Antelope Canyon is a canyon which is basically, in my opinion, not a real canyon, because how you can tell, it's like kind of at the left side you have a wall, at the right side you have a wall, and between a really tiny way to walk through. And look at the walls, it's like 50 meters long. You're allowed to take pictures on the way to the one side, then you're gonna be at the other side. Then they tell you to walk as fast as possible back without taking pictures or anything, because they want you to get as fast as possible in and out, because they're charging you $50 for that. It's not worth it. You see just like the same stuff. They're gonna tell you, hey, that looks like Abraham Lincoln. Well, with a lot of fantasy, it's maybe looks like Abraham Lincoln, but for me, it's just like a wall. Maybe people enjoy it, but what I figured out, it looks like a little bit. If you see the screen protectors from Windows, it could be one of them, to be honest. And in the middle, it's getting a little bit dark, how you can see. And after that, we are basically on the other side and walking back. The whole thing's like 5 minutes hoop dance, 20 minutes in this cars driving up there, and like 20 minutes being in there, getting told, hey, that looks like that famous person. And then you're gonna drive 20 minutes away, paid $50 for basically 1 hour watching at walls. So you have to decide if it worth it or not, but in my opinion, it's not really. So that was the last thing what we did at that day, so I'm gonna end that video right here. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also you can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. And at the right side right here, you can click on that picture and you're going to the last video from me about the South Day trip. And also there's a link in the description if you're watching it with a phone. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it.